Today we are joined by Dr. Rajkumar Ranjan Singh, an MP from Manipur who won the Lok Sabha polls in 2019 from the inner Manipur seat. He is from Northeast, of course, and he's an academic turned politician who has been recently inducted as the Minister of State in the Ministry of External Affairs. Hello, sir. Welcome to ETV Bharat. Many congratulations on your new portfolio. My first question would be, you are from Manipur, of course, from Northeast, and being inducted in the cabinet as the MOS MEA and Education. How do you take forward, how do you look forward of taking this responsibility, sir?
Yeah, as we know, our Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji, he is looking the Northeast India as a special, along with the special attentions. He always think about the vibrancy in the Northeastern India. He is well aware of the ethnic communities in the Northeastern India, different varieties and diversity of indigenous knowledge and languages and dialects. So he want to make it more vibrant in the eastern sector, particularly in the northeast. So accordingly, in his newly reshuffle, he looked to the states from where the peoples are coming, particularly in the border area. Right. Perhaps everybody also well aware that before the Modi government, the region was keeping as a landlocked area, less developed, with less care by the then government in the center. But now after Modi's government, of course Atal Bihari Vajpayee, when he was the minister, he established the donor for special development programs in the region. By the Modi, he took special care. As a result, this landlocked area, he wanted to fully transform a land link to the Southeast Asian country, and so that our culturally and religiously there is a strong foundation in the Far East Asia. As for example, Buddhist culture originated from India is now the major religious community in the Southeast Asia. So through this medium and historical linkages, the Northeastern India is one of the route through this channel or through this eastern gate, the religious is also prosper. So Modi ji wanted to revive in terms of economic activities and the prosperous and peaceful coexistence in the regions. With this view in his mind, most probably, and perhaps he look upon the Northeastern India, and that's why we are having the number that is about 5, the minister in his the team from the Northeastern India. Even for the education, you might have observed that all the education ministers are from Eastern India and Northeastern India, and these are the area of non-Hindi speaking. So why he put all 4 of us from the Eastern India to look and implement the new education policy effectively, so that our younger generation to be tame and trained and skilled to lead the country.
Yeah, of course, talking about the education, which is also an important sector, I would come to our, of course, you have been inducted now as the MOS MEA, which is a big responsibility, of course, along with Lekhi ji and Muralidharan ji, of course. And looking forward, how do you look forward to it? I mean, of course, when we talk about India's foreign policy and, of course, India's strategic dominance in South Asia, how do you reflect upon it?
Yeah, I myself feel this portfolio assigned to me is a very important and strategic things for the nations. Since I belong to the close proximity of the Southeast Asia, and this Northeast India is surrounded by about the three international or three nationals, say for example China in the north, and northeast Burma, and then Bangladesh. This region is encircled by the different national countries. So looking all these tri-juncture of the Southeast Asian country, a man from the northeast is assigned to look after its neighboring country. And Modi's principle is also there, to have a good relationship with the immediate neighboring country. So perhaps he might have assessed me also, because I belongs to Northeast India and close proximity to Burma, and Burma is the linking with the Southeast Asia. So with this, the background, I myself also feel very happy, because most of the ethnic communities of the Southeast Asia is almost the same ethnic affinities. Even the languages are also, there are lots of similar terms and terminology, and even the cultural ethnicity is there. So I feel that this portfolio is quite interesting, and also I may contribute some of my feelings and activities, at least to serve the national the agenda in terms of economic, in terms of cultural, or in terms of international politics. I may be able to exercise, particularly of the Southeast Asia and the SAARC country. That is, I feel that it is a prestigious portfolio. Of course, it is quite tough and the very systematic and disciplined one.
Yeah, of course. That's also great to know about it. Already we have been, because since we have already mentioned, of course, the importance of Northeast along its relation with Southeast Asia, and also India's overall position in Southeast Asia, its strategic dominance in South Asia is something that has been looked upon, and its bilateral relations with countries like US, or of course now that we have seen the relation with China is not that great. Of course, we have seen the relation has been turning sour, and somehow China is an important India has been, there has been a paradigm shift in India's foreign policy when it comes to Chinese aggressiveness. And if I'm not mistaken, you have been entrusted with this responsibility now. How do you see this, sir? Of course, what would be your say going ahead? How do you take it forward?
Particularly in terms of Chinese relations, I'm not directly concerned. Even then, the overall national policy is that our economic activities, perhaps in the last budget, we are hoping for 5 trillion economy, and because of the COVID pandemicity, we were disturbed in our approach. Even then, our Honorable Prime Minister has initiated many things in the themes of self-reliance, Atma Nirbhar Bharat. Based on that, using that mantra, our peoples in India and entrepreneurs in India are trying to found out some of the suitable things which can combat the economic grievances, the economic derailing of the nations. So China at the moment, they try to control their products all over the world, and more particularly to the Indian subcontinent. And in these situations, our hope is that we should produce, we should invent, and we should do our research to produce more and more economically value-addable the things entrepreneurs should be encouraged. Say, for example, now under the Modi regime, we could produce the 3 COVID vaccines. Like that, we may have another the different kinds of frontal areas so that our economy will be boosted, and then economically we can challenge to the Chinese control, and particularly their production. So in a sense, Modi ji all the time advises about Atmanirbhar Bharat. If we love our local products, our own products, and if we have the confidence with our products, our talent, perhaps you know most of our talented youths are brain drained to the Western countries. If you see the Western country, most of the vital, the economic positions or the IT sectors, Indian origins, Indian peoples are using by them. So why not we should call back and use their talent for the growth of the nation, and so that we may be able to control these things.
Okay. Lastly, I would like to ask about your viewpoint of representing India, of course, representing Northeast, especially when we talk about the LoCist policy. Of course, it is expected that the LoCist policy, the very idea of LoCist policy, will be firmly placed with you being inducted in the cabinet. Your take on that?
At the moment, there are many disturbances to make the ACIS in full swing. For example, our close proximity, the Burmese or the Myanmar side, even their communication linking with us, say passing through Manipur and the border town, More to Tamu, and like the Southeast Asian, this portion of the surface linking is still using the road system of the, or even the bridge system of the Second World War. So knowing with all these grievances, the government of India, particularly the Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, he had initiated to improve the road condition, providing facilities from Indian side. For example, in the Sagaing districts of the Myanmar, all the bridges were Second World War. It cannot pass through by the modern, the motor mechanism. So we are trying to construct about 69 bridges and also strengthening the road under the Friendship Development Policy. So India is looking to the east with the exploring the potential, the economic potentiality and cultural potentiality, and cementing our traditional relationship with this modern age. For example, I already mentioned that India is the origin of Buddhism. So even Burma or the Myanmar is a Buddhist country. Up to Laos and others, up to Indonesia, these are all Buddhist platform. So if we make ACIS policy through the traditional linkage of Buddhism, that is religious and also culturally, then if use these two platforms for our economic activities, then it will be successful ACIS policy.
Yeah. Of course, my another question would be, since you are also being entrusted with education now, and you being from Northeast, we have been seeing that, there has been a lack of understanding of the region when it comes to the academic, of course, our education sector, the inputs of Northeast India. Do you think, or do you plan to bring Northeast in the subjects or in our academic, of course, our
if you observe in detail of the pre-Modi's education policies, perhaps you find that in NCERT syllabus, 75% the main lens the topic. Of course, 25% we can modify it in our regional attitude and the regional aptitude. But now Modi ji advice, and also under the leadership of our Dharmendra Pradhan ji, the Education Minister Cabinet, we had been briefed by the Secretariat of the Education's series of briefing meeting was held, and to that meeting we were all informed by our Education Minister Cabinet Dharmendra Pradhan ji said that now Modi ji want, instead of instruction from the central, why not from the regional, they have to put forward with their aspiration and also the information which is not known to the mainland. Say, for example, in Assam, Lasiper Phukon, or in Manipur, Rani Gaidelu, like they know, they were all sacrificed. They were all sacrificed in a way in the form of freedom fighting, a fighter against the British. So all these things were not known earlier by the historian or academicians of the central, the mainland India. Now Modiji's, the idea is that all these should be included. You know that Bharatiya Janata Party, of course, the politics is there. Our ideology is that there should be integral humanism. We have to look all the areas and then we have to build our nation inclusively. And that's why the earlier and the most of the peoples, most of the younger generations say that in the history of India, Northeastern India is not reflected, even in the social studies, it is not reflected. But in terms of the science and biological studies and bioresources, Northeast India is one of the major thrust area of the India. And that's why scientifically Northeast India is the prime zone. And that's why Modiji says that even for the social studies and history, it should be recast, covering all those unknown freedom fighters, unknown cultural leaders who dedicated to frame a composite culture of the Indian nation. So I am also very happy to be part of the managerial sector in this education.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for joining with us. This is Chandrakala Chaudhary signing out with ETV Bharat with camera person Inder Mohan.